I always tell people when I'm, working with them one-on-one, if you are thirsty, taking a shower is not going to help you. Hi, welcome to the Judy Terrell Show, where I explore topics intended to optimize every body 50, 60, 70, and above. Hi, everybody, and welcome to the Judy Terrell Show. I am Judy Terrell, and if you are joining me in this broadcast, then you are in my series number 7 of video broadcasting. And my topic for this series of 6 episodes is how to decrease and manage anxiety, stress, and impatience when you are over 50 years old. Now, the things I'm going to present in this series, and have been presenting because this is number 2, are applicable to people of all ages. But why I am highlighting it for over 50 is because when you are over 50, there's changes to your cognitive processing, changes to your own physical body and your sense of security and familiarity, because you're aging and things are happening that are different from when you were younger. Hormonal changes are happening, and those are just to name a few of the things that make it different when you're over 50. And that is why I'm targeting the over 50 market, or age demographic, if you will, for this broadcast or this series of videos that I'm presenting. I am 60 years old myself, and I can tell from firsthand experience, as well as what I know about anxiety and stress management from my psychology degree and the information that I stay abreast of. And I can say that, once changes in my physical body are occurring now that make other stresses in my life even more enhanced, because I'm living in a body that is less familiar to me and that has its own stressors to be able to manage that I didn't have when I was in my 40s, 30s, and 20s. And then therefore my capacity to manage outside stress is already compromised from just getting up in the morning and have to take 3 minutes to be able to walk across the floor without knee pain, for instance. And that is something that does happen to me. So, this is why I'm targeting the over 50 market. But I put a little asterisk here because if you are over 50 and watching this, you're like, oh, I have a son or a daughter that might be, this might be good for them too, but they're not over 50, obviously. They can, you can apply most of what I'm saying to that age, any age population, but I'm specifically addressing the 50 plus market. All right, so this is my second in this series. And so what I'm presenting in the series in each episode is like hands-on, practical, applicable tools that you can use any time of the 24-hour cycle and require no minimal time to get or to go to. So for instance, I have clients that say to me, if I ask them well, what do you do to manage your stress and your anxiety? And they'll say, well, I get massages, or, I exercise. I go to the gym and I, get on the treadmill, or I ride a bike or whatever. But then I'll say to them, well, what if you're feeling this at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, you're at work, you're feeling this level of anxiety or stress come over you, you're getting close to the end of the day, and you've got way more to do than the hours you have left to do it. And then you have to beeline home to take care of some things for your family. I don't think fitting a massage in is going to be able to serve you in that moment. So, I'm not saying a massage isn't a good thing to have as part of your inventory. Exercise, I'm obviously an advocate of that. I've made exercise a career, along with health coaching. But again, these are the kind of things that will be helpful, but they're not accessible to you in the moment that you might be feeling an escalation of anxiety, an escalation of stress, where you really need something and you don't want to use, food or cigarettes or other things that are immediately accessible that have negative side effects. You want something that's going to really address the stress and the anxiety and the state of your nervous system that is by design going to help to calm you down. I always tell people when I'm working with them one-on-one, if you are thirsty, taking a shower is not going to help you. And what I mean when I say that is that, we need to take a shower, we need to exercise, we need to meditate, we need to, get massaged. But but we need to eat, but if we're going to use food, when we're not hungry, but we're trying to do it to help to quench our anxiety, then that is like taking a shower when you're thirsty. It is something that you need to do, but it's not meeting the need at the moment. You need to actually drink a glass of water, right? So with that in mind, I don't want people to turn to food and other substances and other behavioral patterns that are not really they're going to kind of buffer the anxiety, but they're not really getting at the core of it. We need things that are going to get to the core and actually, calm down your nervous system. All right. So what I'm presenting in this episode is using aromatherapy, all right, or essential oils. So let me, tell you a little bit about what am I talking about here. Some people might have an idea. Some people are like, what is she talking about? So, essential oils are essences that are taken from plants that are then consolidated, refined, diffused into a consolidated liquid. It's an oil. I'll show you an example. This is one. It comes in a variety. I'm going to talk about a couple of different brands, but generally speaking, they'll come in a small vial like this, and it's an oil, right? So certain plants have certain scents to them, and the scents we will take in through our nose, and it goes into our olfactory system, into our brain, and the aromatherapy and the essential oils diffused so that we can breathe it in, or actually even be applied on our skin, then go into our limbic system part of our brain, which is the seat of our emotion. And so scents from plants will come into our nervous system, get into the limbic system, and then can have, a stimulatory effect, a calming effect, a variety of effects into our nervous system. And actually, what I'm presenting today are going to be the scents that you can get in essential oils that actually have a calming effect on our nervous system, because I'm presenting on how to manage stress, anxiety, and impatience. And so therefore, what are, tools to help in the moment, at any moment, and what will actually have a down regulation, a calming effect on our nervous system. So essential oils come in vials, right? You can use these in a variety of ways. You can actually topically apply it onto your temples or maybe underneath your nose. You can put this into water in a diffuser and then have it be aromatically, put into your space, and then you're breathing it in through your nose, so it's getting into your nervous system that way. And those are the two ways that I'm going to, promote in this, episode for use, because they are able to be done quickly. Here in my studio, I have a diffuser in the front, and I have a variety of essential oils that I can then put into the water, and there's a heating element in the diffuser, and then the water heats, and then it emulates out into the air. So everyone who comes into the studio, depending on what scent I have, is going to be affected by that scent. Now, that said, I'm in the studio right here, so oftentimes in the studio, I will use scents that actually have somewhat of a stimulating effect, because there are people coming in to exercise. So citrus scents, peppermint oil are two, so citrus being lemon, orange, and peppermint oil. Those are three that I'm going to tell you about, or I'm telling you about, that when you breathe them in, they can have a stimulating effect. So sometimes we do, if you're really tired, it's the middle of the day and you need to still be working, it might be beneficial to have an oil that might have a stimulating effect. But if you're revved up and anxious and stressed and feeling very impatient, then you don't want to have a stimulating effect. You want to have a calming effect. So the scents that will have a calming effect, lavender, that's probably the number one biggie. Rhododendron, believe it or not, is a calming essential oil and aromatherapy. So those are two that I'm going to mention. And I'm going to say also, I want to also present holy basil. So holy basil, lavender, rhododendron. Those are three that all have calming effects on your nervous system when you take them in either through the olfactory scent or put it on your skin, and then it gets into into your brain through, the circulatory system, your blood, which then brings it up into your brain. Those three oils are known. What they do is they stimulate the nervous system to decrease cortisol, to increase the parasympathetic nervous system response, which is the calming down effect, switch on our nervous system. And in addition to these single oils, there are combinations, so compounds of different scents that can be put together that also have like calming effects. So for instance, I have, let me see what I have here. So this is a Breathe, a respiratory blend to help to calm down and calm down your respiratory rate. And it is a blend of essential oils. Now, there's a lot of brands out that you can, go on Google and just do aromatherapy brands. And there's many, many, many that are very, very good and reputable. How do you know it's going to be a good product? Is that you're looking for either organic on your label of ingredients or therapeutic blend. So that means that they're not filled with fillers. The oils are just the oils. They're consolidated so that the amount of them in there have like a critical mass level to be able to have the effects that I'm suggesting, the calming effects on your nervous system. So therapeutic blends and organic on the label tells you that is probably going to be a good brand. doTERRA, which is ones that I have here, is one of the current brands that I'm using. So you can Google that one right away and take a look at their products. But like I said, there's a lot of different brands that are out. So you're looking for organic and therapeutic on the label. And once you see those, one or both of those, then you can be, assured that this is going to be a blend that's going to have a therapeutic amount in it to have the most potent effect on calming you down. All right. So essential oils in aromatherapy blends or single, entities, lavender, rhododendron, and holy basil being three that are the most prominent for calming you down. And, I did a presentation for residents that work in the medical center here in Albany. And I was suggesting to them, because they're constantly dealing with like literally life and death, ER kind of situations for 24-hour and 12-hour shifts, and their bodies get caught in like fight or flight and they can't calm down. And so one of the things I suggested to the residents is to buy a blend or a single, like lavender is, like I told you, my favorite, and to keep the vial in their white coat pocket so that they could take it out and, go to the bathroom and just like smell it themselves as a method to calm down their nervous system when they're coming out of a red zone, situation. And they're still spun up and they have to now calm down, and their body's just not allowing them to. So why I'm mentioning that is that's an illustration of how this can be applied any moment of time, 24/7, always available to you, unlike a massage, unlike going to exercise, unlike being able to meditate, all of which are great stress relievers. But I am presenting in this series things that you can access in a second if you've done the preview work of actually buying it. But then you have it and then you can access it. And these are the kind of things that I feel like those of us who are over 50 need to have in our toolbox, because life out here is getting more and more stressful, and we're living in bodies and operating out of cognitive processing brains that are more challenged due to age. And yet we still have to be on top of our game. And there's a whole different level of anxiety that comes up with that than there was in our 40s and 30s and 20s. So aromatherapy, essential oils, both topically and in scent through your nose, a quick and very effective based in science method for helping to lower your anxiety, manage your stress, and decrease impatience at any moment in any time. So this is number 2 in my 6-part series. Please stay tuned for number 3 and the rest. As always, my goal in presenting these video series that I'm doing is because I want to help the viewers, you and myself, make the second 50 years of our life even better than our first 50. And if you're finding that there's value in what you're listening to and viewing, I welcome you to go to my website where I have products and services and a variety of things that you can also expose yourself to that might also add to your toolbox in addition to the things I'm presenting here. So please check that out, everybody. And as always, thank you for watching and commenting and spreading the word on my presentations. And I wish you be well until we meet again. Bye, everybody. Thanks for listening, everybody. And if you'd like to have access to some of my additional resources, I can be found at Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and on my website, www.judyterrell.com.